right. With the final, once again, it is important that you show all your work and you submit all your work. Some of you have had to ask for some of your work from the last quiz. You just gave me an answer with the hypothesis testing. I don't need just the answer. I need the work. The more important thing is the process to get to the point of why you say you're what you're saying. You need to show me the reason why. You can't just tell me this is the answer, because if you have the wrong answer, that's all right or all wrong. Plus, I need verification of that. Part of the problem is the verification of that answer, just not the answer by itself. If we take a look on the back side of the review sheet, it would be page 2. It has an average. The age of each Supreme Court justice is listed. Calculate the population mean, because there's only 9 Supreme Court justices, so this would be the population at this point. Population mean, median, mode, range, variance, standard deviation for the set of data. Okay, you need to show me the work, how we are dealing with this problem. Okay, need to show me. We have ages of 84, 81. Now this was data from a few years ago. This is changing now. We have 79, 69, 67, 63, 62, 57, and 50. And once again, this is data from a few years ago. We've had a few Supreme Court justices pass away. We have some new ones being appointed. So these ages are going to change a little bit. But what I'm asking for is the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and the variance. But you need to show me the work on this. You can't just give me an answer. I know we've looked at our calculator, and our calculator will allow us to be able to get an answer. I understand that. But the initial part of this problem, initial part of this class, was being able to show the statistical calculations of your variance and your standard deviation. So what we should set up is set up our table where we have our x values. We have x minus x bar, and then the x minus x bar squared. So we have each one of these data points once again, you need to show me this work. I just don't want to accept the answer of this is what it is. You need to show me the work and how you set up the problem. And how we set up this problem was by using a table and dealing with our calculations. So we have 84, we have 81, we have 79, we have 69, 67, 63, 62, 57, and 50. Now, if you set up your table, it organizes your brain a little bit more and organizes what you're dealing with here. To be able to calculate the average of a set of data, calculate the average of a set of data, we have to add up. We have to take the sum of all your x's and divide it by our total number of. Well, if I put it in my table, I can just add down my values or add down my column that we're dealing with. So we have the mean, which is the sum of all the x's, so I can add down all those values. This should add up to, if I clickety-clack it through my calculator, just adding down 612. So we have 612 that we're going to divide by 9 because we have 9 values there. So we have 612 divided by 9. So once again, clickety-clacking that through that calculator, we have a value of 68. Now to calculate our variance, and since we're dealing with a population, we take the sum of x minus x bars and divide it by our total number of values that we have. So this is where the table helps us out a lot. And once again, if you remember back to what we did, we can utilize our calculator and work horizontally. So we have our mean to be a value of 68. So we're going to take our 84 minus our 68. Take our 84 minus our 68, which is a value of 16, 16. And then we're going to square that as we go across the line. So we have, if you want to work 84 minus 68, I get my value 16, and then just hit my square button. That squares my answer to give me 256. So we have 256, which is the 16 squared. And then we have the 81 minus the 68. So once again, you can go 81 minus 68, hit enter, gives you the 13, and then square my answer. Just hit the square button so I don't lose a negative. So we have 13 here, which is 13 squared, which is 169. Go ahead and work yourself down the column now and finish out the columns. And once again, this is a way to organize yourself to make these types of problems a lot easier to deal with. And that's the ultimate goal. Is you want to be able to do the problems, you want to do it efficiently, and so it makes sense to you. But try to be organized in your work so you can show the organization, and it makes it a little bit easier to figure out what you're doing. Now you don't have to write out this intermediate step in here. I'm just writing it down just so we can see what is happening. And once again, the negatives, the nice thing about the negatives, like if we do the last one, we have 50 minus 68, we get the negative 18. And typically when we have problems with our calculators with squaring values is when we're dealing with negatives. But if you just hit your square button, it will square the answer, negative 18, to 324, which gives us the correct answer. So we have 324, then 121, 36, 25, 1, 1, and 121. Now to calculate our variance, we have to add down this column. So you want to calculate the sum of x minus x bar squared. So we're going to add down to find the answer here. So go ahead and add down the column. And when you add down this column, it should add down to 1054. So to find our variance, we have 1054, and we divide by a total, once again, of 9 numbers. Now, this is when this is a population. And you have sigma there. When this is a sample, when it's stated that you have a sample, this will be s squared, and we're going to divide by the n minus 1, our sample size minus 1. So we take the 1054 divided by 9, we get 117.11. And then to find our standard deviation, we take the square root of this 117.11 to find your standard deviation. So you should come down to 10.8. And this is your standard deviation. Now, once again, you need to show this table and you need to show the work. I just don't want to see, here's my answer, here's my answer, here's my answer. Okay, I need to see the work that goes into solving for that problem. Now, the very last page of the solutions is a type of problem that we did not go through. You do not have to worry about it. It says find the equation of the regression line. It's an optional thing for us to be able to do, and if I have time, I usually throw that in. This year we did not have enough time just because of the restriction of the days that we've been in class. So the last problem on the solutions, find the regression line. Do not worry about that. Okay, I will not ask you that question. I may add in another question somewhere along the line that is similar to what we have dealt with here. I may just throw another problem in here somewhere. Okay, once again, it is split into 2 days. The hypothesis testing will be day 2. That will be on Monday, and that probably shouldn't take you as long as the first day's worth of work. I would say the 45 or 50 minutes, if we meet at 7:45 on Friday morning, you should be done by 8:30. It should not take you long to get through that. And then the second day, once again, if we meet at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, we should be fine with getting done. You should be done by 8:30, 8:45 with the hypothesis testing. But once again, you need to show the work in regards to what you're dealing with and how you're coming up with the solutions. Questions that you have? This will be a very short class in here today. What I will do, I will stay in the classroom. You do not have to stay in the classroom, but I will stay in the classroom. If you would like to start working on the review sheet, and then if you have questions, you can just sort of chime in. I'll stay close to my computer here, and you can chime in and ask me a question about anything on the review sheet. What you'll need is your Z tables and your T tables. You'll also need hopefully you took your stats book home, because you will need your, no, you won't need it. Never mind. You won't need it. When we do the binomial probability, as in problem number 15, you have a binomial probability at the bottom. You will not be able to utilize your book because it's not a p-value that's a multiple of 5. So you won't need your book for that values. But you'll need your Z table and you'll need your T table and your chi-square table as you go through the problems. Questions that you have? Once again, this is a short period today. The rest of the time I'm going to be given to you to work on the review sheet for the final. We'll meet on Friday at 7:45, do the first half of the final, and once again, Monday will be the second half of the final. Okie doke, I have nothing else for you. Once again, I will hold it into the classroom here. So if you have any questions, you can pipe in or ask any questions as you go along. But other than that, I'm out of here. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Please get some work done with respect to statistics, though. Friday is the first part of the final. Please get it ready. Please be ready for it. And once again, show as much work as possible when you're dealing with that. Okay, I'm out of here. Once again, you guys can stick around if you want. If you have any questions, I'll keep the Google Classroom open. But I'm going to close out the present and close out the screencastify.